Bye.
I
Okay,
would be
so
in bed, except for I'm actually trying to do something with life.
now,
That's overrated.
okay, so here is where we are as far as the class. I am currently trying to, excuse me, I'm currently breaking apart the class into topics. So what do the topics do? The topics allow you to immediately see what is required for, oh, I'm getting messages about this group is meeting. So you can see exactly what is required for that week as far as reading, as far as assignments. I also went ahead and recorded the entirety of Act 2. If you're at all interested in hearing me try to read a female's part, sign on, listen to that.
Sounds entertaining.
Less than you would want, but more than you would believe. And then the other video in it is about 30 minutes long, and it's kind of an overview plus a little bit of kind of a lecture / discussion over what Act 2 does as far as the characters. If you are not going to listen to an audiobook version of the play or something like that, feel free to listen to me and my big mouth. There we go. Oh, okay. If you are interested, or not interested, the only video I would like you to listen to, and really like you to listen to, is the 30-minute one. The other one is about an hour and 15 hour and 20 minutes. Because Act 2, despite only having 2 scenes, is very, very long. A lot of development occurs, especially with Hamlet. How has it gone so far? I know some people were having issues signing on, and things like that, but overall, how have things been going for you with Google Classroom and everything else?
I haven't had any problems.
That's good.
I'm surprised I haven't died.
What was that, Julie?
Oh, coffee.
What did you say, Julie?
Affirmative response.
It has been a thing. I have spent more time trying to figure out why one student can't access something than I've been able to actually apply to making the stuff. So I apologize. I'm a little bit behind right now. I will be posting the only other piece for you to fill out later today, God willing. Otherwise, it'll be first thing tomorrow. So we're continuing on. We'll be looking at Act 2. If you were unable to access something, all I need you to do is let me know. And then make sure you access it before Sunday. Okay? Basically, with all the issues that happened last week, I extended week 1's due dates. After that, I'm going to go ahead and call it and move on. None of those are massive. I will say that there will be a quiz next week over Acts 1 and 2. It'll be fairly long. And I will not give you direct quotes. I will give you, it's because I expect you to basically have it open while you're doing it. So it won't be something as rote as, okay, so who is the main character of the play? It'll be a little bit more of,
Romeo.
Why does Hamlet feel it, or like at the end of Act 1? When Hamlet says that he is going to act insane, act mad. Who is he speaking to? Right? So you need to find who is he speaking with, who is the audience, who knows about Hamlet, because that's an important piece of Hamlet's character. He plays his cards very close to the chest. When do you first see Hamlet start to become mad or crazy? And what tips you off that he's starting to not act it anymore? Because in Act 2, Hamlet just full on, he plays the part, man. He starts making weird asides. He starts muttering to himself in songs that we don't know. At one point, he actually refers to Ophelia's father, Polonius, as Jehoshaphat. I think it's Jehoshaphat. It's not Jehoshaphat. It's a biblical character who is known for his daughter. Well, it makes sense that, but Polonius doesn't understand why Hamlet calls him that. He also happens to be a meddlesome man who gets in the way. And so Hamlet calls him that, and Polonius misunderstands that, it's still about my daughter. And Hamlet's like, no, you don't even get what I am talking about. Like, literally, Hamlet is the embodiment of the meme. I am 4 dimensions above you at this moment in time, right? That really ripped, oddly realistic looking Mario. That's Hamlet. Except he's not. He thinks he is, but now he's making himself paranoid. And so by the end of Act 2, Hamlet has begun his descent into madness. I'm going to be looking at those kinds of things. Yes, go ahead and begin reading Act 2. That is this week's reading. And the videos that I posted, one is me reading Act 2 with you. Oh, and Evie left. The other part of the video is me kind of breaking down Act 2. Okay? This one is really good with the modern English. Definitely use Spark Notes with this one. Because a lot of the asides, a lot of the references require modern or current pop culture knowledge. And I don't know about you, but my Shakespearean pop culture knowledge is not that strong. The songs sung by children of the 14 and 1500s are not things I just rattle off every day. So those modern translations will really help you put those into context. Okay, so definitely use the modern English. Definitely make sure that you're reading along with the Spark Notes on that one, because we just don't have enough time. I could spend hours trying to do what SparkNote does for you without any issue, right? So very much avail yourself of that resource.
So this week, all we have is reading, that journal thing, and whatever you're gonna send later today.
The journal, the reading thing, and then I'm going to post. Does everyone have Cami?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Are you familiar with using Cami? How to use the text box and all of that?
Yeah.
If I understand, Mr. Nicholson has been using it as well.
Lots of teachers are.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm also going to upload a Cami PDF for you guys to fill out and send in to me. Okay? That'll be our grammar bit. We won't do an interactive like we did last week.
What's the video we're supposed we need to watch? The one you said there
The
was one.
30-minute one.
Okay.
The small one. That one basically is a 30-minute lecture over Act 2, pointing a few things out, kind of making sure that you're following the character line of Hamlet, and where what we're going to be focusing on. There's a lot in Hamlet we could focus on. Larities. Fortinbras and Larities are entire classes on their own. because Fortinbras is the heir apparent to Norway, and he is currently trying to invade Denmark. But he claims that it's actually to invade Poland. So there's all of this political and governmental domination in the background. Fortinbras hates Hamlet because Hamlet's father killed Fortinbras' father. None of that really matters in the play until Act 4. But we keep getting information about Fortinbras up until and before Act 4. If you're not an Englishman of the time period, knowing who Fortinbras and that whole geopolitical system is not going to really affect you much. So I'm not going to dig into Fortinbras as much. I would have liked to, but we don't have time. Well, we do have time. We have nothing but time, but doing classes from home takes more time.
Mm.
You got everything in the world to distract you. You know, you've got your truck, you've got your games, you've got basketball, you got Snapchat, you got TikTok, you got
chicken,
you got Cluck Cluck, you got Hey Hey. Right?
Did you say trucks just for me?
Yeah,
I did. I looked right at you on my screen when I said that. You have all of these things that are infinitely more interesting to you than Hamlet. I get that.
Hamlet's pretty
So,
interesting.
Hamlet is my favorite Shakespearean play because of the fact that it's the only play where real, honest self-evaluation comes in.
And no suicide/murder.
Wait until Act 3.
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, no. Wait until you get to Act 3. Yeah. Act 2 sets up that Hamlet's going crazy. Act 3 says, did you ever think he was sane? And then Act 4 questions, is it actually madness? I love Hamlet. But, so, that's where we're going to go. Not everything is posted yet, but those things will be coming. The journal entry is based on the letter I had you write last week. So if you didn't write that letter and then respond in the journal. Okay? The general idea is this.
Yeah, well.
What?
There was a letter thing?
Okay, so, yes. The general idea of the letter. And I may just go ahead and make like a general, this is what the letter was supposed to be. And then just post it to all 4 of the classes. Because to be honest, it seems like nobody caught that. The letter. The entire point of the letter was, we're in lockdown. There is a strong chance that this will last for another 30 to 40 days. And there is a strong chance this will happen again next year. We're already starting to try to figure out if this is going to be a seasonal issue, because it is transferring far, far better than the SARS virus ever did. This could become like a flu shot. And immunization is up to 18 months away. So, which is amazingly fast. Like, please keep that in mind. This is remarkable. It took the polio vaccine a decade to be developed. Right? It was this man's life work to stop polio.
Granted,
we're going to get
like
the yes. Now, that's way, way back. But we have 4 major pharmaceutical companies investigating this virus using technology that has never been tried in viral research before. We have at least 2 companies right now that began working on a vaccine 3 days after we knew it existed. There wasn't live virus outside of China. They had the data download and began running simulations. They might already be in clinical trials to see if this actually kills the virus or not. Insane amount of scientific research and an insane amount of legitimate science is being developed to fight this virus. But anyways, I want to make sure that you guys are being healthy and staying in contact with people. But there are people that don't have family at home. Now, some of you may think, the dream, to be alone. That doesn't mean you get to talk or see any of your friends.
Aren't we all alone?
You'll really enjoy Act 3 of Hamlet, I fear. So, the whole thing that I want you to focus on with this one is I want you to get in contact with someone that doesn't have someone to talk to. Long-term care, grandparents in nursing homes, cousins that are really outgoing, gregarious. They're on their own for the first time in their lives, and they just got locked down inside of their apartment. They went from, I always have people around me, to no one is ever around me. I want you to come in contact with those people, to reach out and involved with them. Because whether you like them that much or not, your family is helping to keep you somewhat elastic. The quickest way to drive an extrovert insane is to lock them in a room. The quickest way to
write
make
a letter to the LPC.
Huh?
A letter to one of the ladies at the LPC, and they said I can't send it to her because they're on lockdown mode. They can't receive any letters.
So, and that's why I was so glad that it was last week, but then nobody caught that. So,
well, no,
I
tried to send it. I think it was Wednesday, and they wouldn't let it.
No, I know. I understand. It's because they are. So, I'm trying to think of a way now. Oh, you're talking about last week, Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you
to do something different. Email, yes. Write an email or something like that. Give them something. And if you're unable to, for whatever reason, tell me about the letter you would write. Okay, make it a hypothetical. The journal entry is, who are you sending it to? Or who would you send it to? What would you talk about? And then, I don't have it up right now, but there was a third question as prompts of things that you could talk about in your journal entry. Okay? Mm-hmm. The letter doesn't have, you don't need to share the letter or email or anything like that with me. I want it to be heartfelt, and that's personal. The journal entry is where I will grade if you did it or not, and did you put proper thought into it. So I'll be looking for examples, not necessarily of, I poured out my heart and soul, here's what I look like on the inside, more along the lines of, I called up some childhood memories with a friend that I haven't gotten to see in a long time, and they're living on their own for the first time. Or I talked about my memories of going over to my grandparents' house, and one of my favorite memories of hiding when I was little. I would hide in my grandmother's cabinetry to play hide and seek. I loved it. It was a little cubby hole. I loved my little cubby hole. And she would make fresh bread while I was in my cubby hole, and I would hand her stuff from inside and all this. And it was a game we would play.
It ain't much.
I would write that to her. Huh?
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
It ain't much, but it's honest work. Exactly. Me and my overalls. So, if I was writing to my grandmother, that's what I would write about. The smell of her fresh bread, things like that. The personal things that would make her happy and feel connected with. Those are the kinds of things I would write about with her. In the journal, I would say, I wrote about my memories with her growing up, about the smell of fresh baked bread. I wouldn't necessarily mention the cubby hole. I might not. That's very special to me. I still like my cubby holes. But those are the kinds of I would talk about gardening in the back. I would mention the fact that she loved snapdragons, and every year she would take care of these 2 massive snapdragon bushes. And every year during the spring, we would hide eggs and just beat the hell out of those poor little flowers as we squeezed them to make them like open and close their mouths, right? I swear, we just destroyed that poor bush every year, just squeezing the flowers together. Those are the kinds of things that people need right now. And some of you guys were writing a letter for Rush. Use that letter for this. I don't need you to write a brand new thing. I want you to be involved and self-reflective. And if that's what I'm looking for, you're already starting that. Now I'm just going to ask you to use that for this. Make sense? You don't have to write a new thing. Just use that one thing for 2 different bits. Questions or concerns about that? Okay, so I will continue to post things throughout the day today. I will be back to my regularly scheduled meeting times tomorrow. So that won't be an issue. And we'll go from there. I will be on or around until 1:30 today for any kind of interaction or anything like that. You may be upstairs. I'm making breakfast pizza for my family for lunch today. So if you pop on later, you may see me putting bacon on a pizza. Very nice. But I will text me, call me. All right. I may not always be around to answer an email or listen to this, but I'm always around if you need to talk. All right. I know all of this is crazy right now. I think Bradley is well rested for the first time in his life. I like it. Keep track of each other too. You know, make sure to check in. If you haven't heard from somebody in a while, make sure you send them a message every few days.
Hey, Bradley, you're live.
He moves around every once in a while, but that pillow is starting to blend in and compress into his skull. At the end of this, he's going to sit up, and it's going to be attached, and it's going to be his new hairstyle. Very, very swag. He's going to be playing basketball, and he's going to be the perfect, exactly. He's going to be playing basketball, and he's going to be the perfect guard. Instead of stuffing someone, he's going to headbutt the ball with the pillow on the side. I mean, you know. Okay, so I'm going to upload this onto the YouTube channel I have, and I will post the link to the class. So if you have friends that are like, I didn't make it to the 11 o'clock, I was doing something else, let me know what happened. Send them to this, and then tell them if they've got questions for me to come find me, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, it was good catching up with you. It was great seeing you. Any questions? Hearing none,
Technically,
have an excellent day.
Hang on. Since class is over, can I show you something really cool?
Yeah, lay it on me.
So it's 4 years old, but look at this.